Hello everyone, this is Erin. It's Friday, April the 4th, 2018. I have a letter here dated 4/24 from Schaeffer Cox, and he can't even get a lawyer to call him because the person who schedules the lawyer calls is not available until Monday. We were waiting for the lawyer to talk to him for proof of life because we haven't heard from him in weeks. Anyway, here's the letter, and I'll go ahead and start reading it. I know everybody wants to hear what he has to say. It says, Dear Erin, sigh, I'm in the hole and I've been here since Friday the 13th. I feel horrible. There's a lump in my chest all the time, like I'm about to cry, but the tears never come. They just sit there like a diver on a cliff who never jumps. This little cell is like a filthy, bug-infested, damp, dank, dark cell in the basement of a medieval castle. It was built around the time of Alcatraz, so everything has that creepy old haunted house look to it. It feels like one of the insane asylums from a horror movie, all crumbling and lifeless. Except for the evil that still lives here from the times gone past, lurking in the dim flicker of listless 40-watt light bulbs. I am alone, utterly and completely alone. There's not even the voice of a next-door prisoner for me to yell to. The isolation presses in from all sides, like the pressure of the deep, dark sea where the sun cannot reach. It is the totality of nothingness. At night the torment comes. It rises to the surface quietly like a German U-boat come up to look at its prey. I sleep, but I dare not rest, lest I be overrun by the thoughts I hold at bay during waking hours. My 10-year-old son, gentle and tender-hearted, cries himself to sleep because his father, who he loves so much, disappeared. My daughter, delightful in every way, is growing up without a father to delight in her. My wife, beautiful and young, traumatized to her core by the detached and indifferent brutality with which the feds tore her life apart and scattered it to the four winds. My mother and father, growing feeble in their old age, still in shock that their own son, having done no wrong, was fed to the lions of time as the warning to those who would doubt the divinity of men and the glory of Rome. And yet, like me, they know this, scoffed at the sacredness of this nightmare is not a dream. My country, having rejected God and scoffed at the sacredness of life, now measures a human being's value only by his or her usefulness to the state. In town and in city, in America, courthouses and prosecutors' offices work shifts like recycle plants where people the state has no use for are brought to be stripped of their rights and humanity and melted down into something less than human and more than animal, but with the dignity of neither. I know that my destroyed life is but the first drop of rain to be felt from an angry storm of totalitarianism that is building overhead, a storm that will pour out a flood of such startling lawlessness that it will wash away the hopes and dreams and kindness of an entire generation. The people have sown the wind of government worship. Sown the wind of government worship now, the people shall reap the whirlwind of government persecution. Burn the oracle, but it will not hold back the flood. Schaeffer Cox. Then he's got another one dated here on the same page from the 25th. Dear Aaron, I'm low on stamps. That's why I'm not writing much. I didn't get a write-up, and I'm not in any trouble. I'm only in the hole under investigation to see if there is a fight brewing with the Muslims, me, or anyone else. I don't believe that. Please pray for me and for this bad situation. These lunatic fringe jihadi fighters would like there to be no non-Muslims in the unit, or the whole world for that matter, but that's just not reality. Nonetheless, that's their mission and they push for it. What they do is they all gang up on one non-Muslim and try to get rid of him. Once he's gone, they gang up on a new victim. Sometimes it's violent, other times it's not. I'd watch these terrorists do this for the past 5 years. They'd never said or done anything rude to me, but I guess that's just because it wasn't my turn yet. Well, my turn came up and it was no fun. I'm not allowed to elaborate further than that. I could be stuck in the hole for months, or I could get transferred to someplace horrible. There's no telling at all. Just please pray that I'll get let out of the hole and the Muslims will leave me alone. This is a huge source of stress. These Muslims really need Jesus. They have no love in their hearts. Please pray. I mean that. Pray. Schaeffer Cox. I've gotten letters from some great people since I've been in the hole. Mike wrote to remind me of all the people in the Bible who God vindicated from prison, like David, Daniel, Joshua, and Joseph. He pointed out that not only will God use this tragic suffering of mine for good in the future, he already is using it for good in the present. Mike feels strongly that I won't be in prison much longer. Let it be so. He is sharing my story with pastors all over the country that he knows. This is great and it will help. I wonder if big organizations like American Family Radio would help. I hope so. You should ask them to. I can't, but I listen to AFR every day. Thank God he has the radio. Charity from Rescue, Illinois, over near the Wisconsin border, wrote a super encouraging letter. Her 8-year-old girl made me a Medal of Honor out of construction paper and colored it. She said it's because she knows the government won't give me one. That's just about the most precious and meaningful thing a child could say. It shows that she knows America has lost its way, but she hasn't. At this point, I wouldn't accept a medal from anyone but her. Charity asked if she could visit. I doubt if CTU would approve it, but what she can do is share my story with the Christian and homeschool community. That's a strong voice, and I need it pleading my case to the pardon attorney in Washington. And I need good people praying for me. Angie dropped a quick note about life on her farm in Iowa. The calf that was just born, the spring flowers, the warming sun, it all made a pretty picture. She says culture is changing out there for the better. I don't know about that, but okay. Liz sent me lots of happy pictures of her life. Bowls of raspberries, farmhouses, new puppies, and tranquil ponds. They are taped on my wall. Lisa from the Patriot Grandma PMP writes faithfully from Washington. She just gave me a terse rundown of news developments. I couldn't get from fake news on my little radio. This doesn't seem like much, but in my situation, it's huge. I like it. William said he sent me $98 and wanted to know if I got it. No way for me to know until I get out of the hole, but it probably made it onto my account. Thanks. It feels good to not be forgotten. Kaylee and David Canfield wrote about their daughter who is unjustly imprisoned. Wow, those are some awake people. God bless them. Tommy sent me some news articles about me. Not too bad, but the trolls in the comment section are clueless about the facts. Harvey and Janelle from Texas wrote a long letter about communists working their way into America's systems. Yeah, I know all about red termites. That's who got me. The envelope was torn and the 2 books Harv sent must have gotten lost. I didn't see them. This guy is brilliant, a brilliant mind. Chuck jotted a very wise and authentic note on his families with 5 or more children stationary. If I can get out of here, I want more children. I got an Easter card from the Gomez family in Montana. I put it up in the bars of my cell. They are such loving people. Martin from St. Louis wrote me about his experience. It sort of gave me chills. I wonder what it will be like for me to get out of prison. He's right about a 2255 versus a 2241 motion. So that's all Schaeffer had to say, and we're really glad to hear from him. And I think that if they can't control their Muslim population, they should move him to general population or minimum security, somewhere that he doesn't have to spend every day in a dark, dank, medieval hole. We really appreciate your prayers. He's told us before he can feel your prayers for him. And please keep sending him mail because that's all he's gotten there. Thank you again for listening and praying. God bless the righteous, and please, God, rebuke the evil devils.